Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. Muhammad Nazim in front of you. Today is my 32nd appearance. By the grace of God, we have already completed 31 lectures. And especially today, which is a continuation of focus on written communication, I must remind you that in my last lecture, I finished with one important aspect, and that was the preparation, that was the whole process of planning, organizing, drafting, proofreading, all these processes, all these steps which I thought was essential for you to prepare yourself mentally and as well to go into the physical process of writing. In fact, today I had thought that I would immediately go to the next important phase, and that is start writing, preparing different business letters. But then I thought that my relationship with you is something very practical. Because of my past experience in teaching and in the corporate sector, I carry some very hard facts of life, which I want to share with you today. That in the professional career, I have come across people who, in spite of being familiar with all these theoretical aspects, still make a couple of mistakes, which leave a very bad impression. So therefore, I thought that before I take you to the whole exercise of how to write a message, a business message, and what are the different business correspondences you'll be required to do in your future professional career. तो मैंने सोचा कि आज आपसे वो चंद चीजें शेयर कर लूं जो मैंने अपनी प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में सीखी और आज भी जो मैं ऑब्जर्व कर रहा हूं. सबसे पहले एक चीज which has rapidly come in front of us is that time has changed drastically. आज से चंद साल पहले correspondence, especially the business correspondence, business letters, मैकेनिकल टाइपराइटर पे लिखे जाते थे. रिबन और उसके साथ कार्बन कॉपीज थी. फिर जल्द ही हमने देखा दैट मैकेनिकल टाइपराइटर बीइंग रिप्लेस्ड बाय इलेक्ट्रिक टाइपराइटर्स. अच्छी किस्म का फैंसी रिबन with electric printers give the impression of a printed copy. Then very soon we saw computer replacing the electric typewriters. आज देखिए mostly correspondence, communication, interviews, हर चीज कंप्यूटर से हो रही. मैं आपके साथ कम्युनिकेट कर रहा हूं कैमरे के थ्रू कर रहा हूं, मैं आपके साथ कॉरेस्पॉन्ड कर रहा हूं तो ईमेल के थ्रू कर रहा हूं. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कम्युनिकेशन, द होल सिनेरियो इज चेंज्ड. दैट व्हाट यूज्ड टू बी involving the paper and my techniques and certain formats are being rapidly replaced by electronic communication. और gradually with the passage of time, हम वो सारी चीजें जो हमने पास्ट में सीखी थी, gradually उनकी importance कम होती जा रही और in some instances we have started overlooking. जिसके कुछ अच्छे aspects भी हैं, लेकिन mostly what the impression we carry is that we cannot completely assess the professional abilities of a person. लेकिन इसके साथ साथ while all these means are being replaced by electronic techniques, somehow, somewhere still the paper is being used. And keep in mind always we will be dependent on the use of paper. और ये communication, ये messages, interchange, exchange through letter writings will continue on no matter how advanced we go into this field of communication. The reason being that in certain instances which I have mentioned to you in the past as well, not necessarily everything is confined to electronic media. But in most of the cases where you enter into negotiation, where you need some hard proofs, where you want to back up files in the form of hard copies, you will still need paper and the formatting about which I'm going to talk to you today. When I had this thing in mind, I thought that I must share with my students. And that is कि आज जो मैं आपको and in my future lectures मैं आपको letter writings के बारे में different formats बताऊंगा, तो उससे पहले एक बड़ी बेसिक चीज मैं आपके साथ शेयर कर लूँ, और जिसका कि मैं बार बार अपने पास्ट लेक्चर्स में भी मैंने आपके साथ अपने व्यूज शेयर किए. वो ये कि पेपर के ऊपर जैसे आपका मैसेज अपीयर होता है, जैसे फॉर्मेटिंग करते हैं, जैसे उसकी आउटलुक आउटवर्ड अपीयरेंस है, दैट इज द फर्स्ट व्हिच गिव्स अ ग्रेट इम्पैक्ट टू द रीडर. याद रहे मैंने कहा था कि व्हेन यू गो फॉर एन इंटरव्यू, द फर्स्ट थिंग दोज हु सिट फॉर इंटरव्यू, दे सी यू हाउ यू वॉक इन. आप कहीं स्पीकर जाते हैं, द पीपल look at you the way you are dressed up. And at the same time, the outward appearance, आपके external non-verbal cues के ऊपर ध्यान देते हैं और उससे अपनी assessment करते हैं. Written communication में भी मैंने आपको एक दो बार इस बात का जिक्र किया कि जहां verbal communication में outward appearance पे हम ज्यादा जोर देते हैं और उससे हम असेसमेंट करते हैं, रिटन कम्युनिकेशन में भी नॉन वर्बल क्यूज से रिसीवर जो है वो इंप्रेशन मेकअप करता है कि सेंडर की पोटेंशियल एबिलिटीज और उसकी कैपेबिलिटीज क्या हैं. और पर्टिकुलरली मैंने इस बात पे भी अपने प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंसेस आपके साथ शेयर किए कि व्हेन आई रिसीव जॉब एप्लीकेशंस एंड स्पेशली व्हेन अ पर्सन क्लेम्स दैट ही और शी has the ability or has the competence in teaching written communication, I immediately assess on the basis of the format. उसने अपना लेटर कैसे कंपोज किया है, उस लेटर में कंपोजिशन क्या है, राइटिंग स्टाइल क्या है. So this is exactly the non-verbal aspect जिसकी मैं आज आपसे दोबारा बात कर. बिजनेस कम्युनिकेशन में when you are corresponding on behalf of your organization, on behalf of your profession, keep in mind the first impression a person would take कि आपने कैसे कौन से वर्ड सेलेक्ट किए हैं, कॉम्पोजिशन क्या है, स्टेशनरी कैसी है, फॉन्ट्स कैसे हैं, कौन से कलर्स इस्तेमाल किए हैं, स्टाइल क्या है. ये सारी चीजें ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. और इंपॉर्टेंट इसलिए है कि इंसान पढ़ता बाद में है, पहले जैसे ही वो कोई मेल रिसीव करता है. इफ द मेल इज अट्रैक्टिव, इफ द राइटिंग इज अट्रैक्टिव, देन वन इज फोर्स्ड टू गो थ्रू द टेक्स्ट. आज का लेक्चर इसी वजह से मैं चाहता हूं कि चंद बेसिक चीजें आपको दोबारा रिमाइंड करा दूं. मुझे इस बात का एहसास है कि मेरे बहुत से व्यूअर्स आज मेरा लेक्चर सुन के कहेंगे ये तो कुछ ऐसी फंडामेंटल चीजें बता रहा है जो कि वो अपनी अर्लियर एजुकेशन में सीख कर आए हैं. बट लेट मी अश्योर यू टुडे दैट इवन टुडे आई रिसीव correspondences where people keep on repeating the same mistakes. कभी उन्होंने सैल्यूटेशन गलत है, जहां ऊपर डियर सर लिखा है तो नीचे योर सिंसियरली लिखा है. कभी उन्होंने फॉर्मेटिक का स्ट्रक्चर ऐसा है कि इट इज नॉट वेरी अट्रैक्टिव. सो आई थॉट इट वेरी यूजफुल, नो मैटर few of you might feel that that's a wastage of your time, but knowing my audience, देखिए मेरा emphasis यहां you attitude पे है. I know there must be few students who would benefit, who would profit from today's lecture. लिहाजा keep in mind that आज का मेरा lecture थोड़ा सा basic, क्योंकि that is the foundation, that is the fundamental on which आपकी future correspondence would be based on. So please, those who are already familiar with a couple of things which I'm going to mention today, just for the sake of your other colleagues, other friends who might profit from my today's lecture, please bear with me, and I would like to start my today's lecture by telling you that I am going to tell you some basic formatting, some basic structure of the letter writing, especially the business writing. Lihaza, you're pretty sure that today I am going to talk to you about parts of business letter. एक business letter के कौन से parts हैं जिसके ऊपर आपने focus करना. आपने उन parts को जब भी आप, whether you are writing it on a plain paper or you are using a printed letterhead, these are the various parts which you have to keep in mind. Look at the screen. First, heading, letterhead. That is very important. The first impression, ये खत कहाँ से आया है? Normally, people use printed stationery. If you are using a plain paper, I'll tell you कि आपने heading को कैसे compose करना है. Date is an important aspect. You can't send a letter without a date. If you forget mentioning the date, the receiver would not know. लिहाजा date is important. ये ही एक जरूरी part है. Inside address, क्योंकि ठीक है आपने envelope के ऊपर अपना एड्रेस तो लिखा होगा, लेकिन अगर आप ये लिखना भूल गए हैं अंदर, and it is because I, for one, if I am the one जिसको आपने खत लिखा है, I receive lots of letters, I will forget that ये letter कब आया था और किसने क्यों लिखा था. तो inside is important. या मेरे लिए था या किसी और के लिए. Salutation, अभी बात की. I'm going to, on all of these things, I will be going into detail because these are the fundamentals. Subject. बाज़ लोग subject को, और आज जैसे modern technique में time कम है, we sometimes don't mention the subject. और उसके लिए हमें पूरा letter को पढ़ने के बाद पता चलता कि इसका what was the subject, what was the main idea behind. So subject is important too. Body. What is, how to compose. Complimentary close. Letter को close कैसे करना है? क्या लिखना है? How can you be very cordial, courteous? Signature area कितना रखना है? 4 spaces रखनी है, 2 spaces रखनी है, 8 रखनी है? Basic things. Reference initials. Enclosure. आपने अपने खत के साथ कुछ और चीजें भेजी हैं. Covering letter है. तो for the record, it will be mentioned on the covering letter कि इसके साथ मैंने ये चीजें भेजी थी. Copies line. कितनी copies भेजी? That's important too. And postscripts. आपने पूरा लेटर लिख लिया है, कंपोज कर लिया है, आपको बाद में ख्याल आया है कि हमें ये भी मैंने लिखना था. अब ये देखिए कि when you go through all these parts of business letter, you would realize that this shows the professionalism, that you have really planned and kept all the aspects in your mind which is essential for business correspondence. It gives you a complete idea कि letter business writing करते वक्त ये चीजें gives complete information even later on when you have received and you have filed the correspondence. That is what is required. अब अगर इस सारे parts को अगर मैं split करूं तो I can split it into 2 portions. One is the essential parts and the second is the non-essential parts. ये सारे parts of the letters को हम 2 हिस्सों में divide कर लेंगे. कुछ essential parts हैं, you cannot do away with those parts. वो आपने हर सूरत में अपने correspondence में you have to take care of those. And some are additional, some are optional. अब मैं one by one I'll be talking to you about these. Let's look at the essential parts. Essential parts में letterhead, date, inside address, salutation, body, complimentary close and signature. याद देखिए मैंने इनिशियली कितने और इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट्स बताए थे, अब उसमें से सिफ्टिंग कर लिए. These are the important parts. Don't miss any of these parts when you are composing the letter. If you omit any of these, the message will not be. Date गायब कर दें, not possible. Salutation will be discourteous. If you don't sign, you don't take the responsibility of the letter. See, letterhead कहाँ से आया है, किसने भेजा है? So all these things are important. So they are the essential parts. आप देखिए स्क्रीन के ऊपर, ये एक कंपोज्ड लेटर है. इस लेटर के अंदर सारे टोटल असेंशियल पार्ट्स हैं. इसके अंदर ऑप्शनल पार्ट्स मैंने नहीं दिखाए. लेटर हेड, कंपनी का लेटर हेड है, एड्रेस है, टेलीफोन, फैक्स है, डेट, कैसे कंपोज किया गया है. इनसाइड लेटर गिव्स द कंप्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन दैट वेयर दिस लेटर इज गोइंग टू गो. सैल्यूटेशन, अब बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर 3 पैराग्राफ्स हैव बीन डोनेट किए गए हैं उसको फॉर दिस बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर, complimentary clause and the signature. This is how you are going to compose a business letter if you are only taking care of the essential parts. Non-essential parts कौन-कौन से हैं? Addressee notation. For the time being, I'm giving you a glance of what are the essential and non-essential. मैं in details में जाऊंगा और आपको बताऊंगा कि इनके लिए कौन कौन सी चीजें जरूरी हैं and how you have to incorporate these things in the letter. For the time being, just keep in mind addressee notation, that you would at times like to focus something for the person whom you are addressing. That's called as addressee notation. Then attention line, reference. You want to especially bring to attention to the reader. Subject line, पिछले essential में मैंने subject line का जिक्र नहीं किया. Non-essential में, if you really want to facilitate the reader, it's good to include the subject line. Enclosure, very important. You may or may not mention in your letter that I am enclosing a brochure, I'm enclosing 2 more copies, एक अपनी annual report भेज रहा हूँ, वगैरह वगैरह. So it is good that you have a separate mentioning of it. You need at the same time mentioning about the copy notation, कि इस लेटर की कॉपीज और किस और कौन से लोग दूसरे हैं जिनके साथ आप ये इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर कर रहे हैं. मेलिंग नोटेशन, इस मेलिंग में कौन कौन से लोग इन्वॉल्व हैं. ऑफ कोर्स यू हैव साइंड इट, बट दैट्स गुड फॉर योर ओन सेल्फ, दैट्स गुड फॉर द record of the organization. Who typed the letter, who actually wrote the letter, किसने साइन किए, very important. And then the postscript. ये सारी चीजें आती हैं नॉन essential parts में. आइए one by one talk about the essential parts of a letter. सबसे पहले let us talk about the letterhead. Normally letterhead का size 8 by 4 into 11. This is the normal letterhead. I'm talking about the inches. This is the normal letterhead size which is used in most of the business correspondences. In legal firms, they use slightly different size, 8 by 5 into 14. Well, that's slightly, because they have to write lengthy. Content is larger, so that's why longer paper इस्तेमाल होता है. लेकिन इसके अंदर वो चीजें जो कि मैं इनिशियली आपको लेटरहेड में मेंशन की हैं कि कहां से आया है, कंपनी कौन सी है, एड्रेस क्या है, फैक्स नंबर, टेलीफोन नंबर, एंड नाउ ईमेल टू, दैट नीड टू बी included into the letterhead. एक चीज मैं आपको यहां फोकस करते जाऊं कि आपके लेटरहेड के लिए जो आपने पेपर इस्तेमाल किया है, दैट इज द फर्स्ट नॉन वर्बल क्यू. पहला इंप्रेशन आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का, आपकी कंपनी का, आपके स्टेशनरी से, कैसी अच्छी स्टेशनरी आपने इस्तेमाल की, कौन से कलर. डजंट मीन दैट यू यूज ग्रीन, पिंक. No, on the average. Use white paper, maybe slightly creamish. But the weightage of the paper. पेपर कितना पतला है, आप उसको फाइल करते हैं तो फट जाता है. That is important too. And then, if you are really quality conscious, then what is the quality of the paper? और ये हम कहते हैं grammage. पेपर का वेट क्या है, उसका कलर would be dependent on the content of the, उसके अंदर कॉटन कंटेंट क्या है, या वो वुड पल्प से बना है तो वुड पल्प का कंटेंट क्या है. यू मस्ट बी रिमेंबरिंग कि आपने जो पेपर्स फाइल किए होते हैं, आप जब 6 महीने के बाद निकालते हैं तो पता लगता है वो पेपर ही पीला हो गया. इफ द क्वालिटी ऑफ द पेपर इज गुड, if the cotton content, which is normally used in good papers, is 20%, then you will see paper stays white. So, अच्छी organizations जो कि अपना record को बहुत value करते हैं, they use good quality paper. So, मैंने आपको letterhead में बताया कि ये चीजें बहुत जरूरी हैं. आप स्क्रीन पे देखिए कि optional जो aspects हैं वो हैं, you can use the director's name, you can use the logo, you can use trademark, you can use firm's starting date. These are the important elements which you can use in the letterhead. Mind it, आपका letterhead जो है, it should not occupy more than 2 inches of the top space of your paper. This is roughly, you don't like to occupy the major portion of your letterhead in such stuff. मैंने आपको grammage की बात की. Keep in mind, if you really want to know the details, roughly 4 reams of paper, which is roughly 2000, should weigh about 20 pounds. And that will show you कि आप अच्छी weightage का paper इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. And I've told you about the quality. So this is what is to be kept while you are selecting your letter. जो कि you can have a good quality paper, you can have a good weight paper, and then have the letterhead printed. स्क्रीन पे देखिए, मैं आपको एक specimen letterhead दिखा रहा हूं. Our letterhead here shows where the letter has come from. मैंने एक fictitious सा नाम लिख के दिया है, high-tech office equipment, heading, and then say, it's a micro house, the name of the road, and then place, say Karachi, and then telephone, fax, put email. This is a complete information which should be carried in the. Sometimes people use date along and the reference number, but I'm going to consider date separately. Date is something which tells you when the letter was posted. Keep in mind, you may have typed the letter today, but if you are going to post it 1 week after, you must put the date जब आपने उसको post करना है. Otherwise, it's going to give a wrong message to the receiver. Because then, in fact, you kept the letter with you for 1 week. So, careful while you are signing up a message, look at the date. अब date को different तरीकों से लोग mention करते हैं. Some have it aligned onto the left margin, some align it to the right margin. Both are permissible. It's your choice if you want to put it on the right hand side or to the left hand side. अब dates लिखने के भी मुख्तलिफ तरीके हैं. Americans do it differently. Europeans do it differently. American way of putting the date is that they put the month first, and then the day, and then the year. Supposing you're an American and you are mailing a letter, you say December 25th, say 2005. अब होगा, और जो भी डेट है, let's say December 12th, then date, and then 2005. And that is in figures. On the other hand, what we do is, we put the day first, and then month, and then the year. Now, since globalization के phase में से हम गुजर रहे हैं, this causes a lot of confusion. Supposing मैंने एक लेटर भेजा है जो कि 5वां महीना है, 5 तारीख है, सो आई से 5/5/2005. अब अमेरिकन पढ़ेगा कि इट्स दी, वेल दिस इज द रॉन्ग एग्जाम्पल, बिकॉज इफ आई से 5वां महीना है और 6ठी तारीख है, तो वो ये समझेगा, क्योंकि अगर मैंने उलट लिख दिया तो वो कहेगा 6ठा महीना है और 5वीं तारीख है. सो इसको अवॉइड करने का बेस्ट तरीका ये है कि पुट द मंथ इन वर्ड्स, लाइक December, put it DECEMBER, and then you can write in figures the day and finally the year. स्क्रीन पे देखिए, मैं आपको डेट to avoid confusion दिखा रहा हूं कि बेस्ट तरीका होगा December 5th, 2005. So this will avoid any confusion. Let's now talk about the inside address. When I talk about the inside address, I mean it's the address of the recipient. It's not that you mention your address. It is who the receiver is. It's always on the left-hand side. You never write it on the right-hand side. Iski alignment with the left-hand side. And you include the name and address of the individual, or you can mention about the organization. While you are writing the name to whom you have addressed, keep in mind the professional title. Doctor, professor, and that is for the courtesy sake. Or otherwise, if there is no professional title, then Mr., Mrs., Miss. Do you remember something? मैंने आपको जेंडर बायस पे बताया था. During communication with female, or better use MS rather than avoiding Miss or Mrs. So I will again remind you that if you are corresponding with a female, then use MS rather than Mrs. or Miss. स्क्रीन पे देखिए, मैंने एक एग्जांपल दी है कि इनसाइड एड्रेस को आपने कैसे कंपोज करना है. A fictitious name, Mr. A.R. Qureshi, General Manager, XYZ organization. I have written the PO box and then where the destination is, Lahore. Aye, let's talk about the salutation and the complimentary close. The reason I'm linking the two is, when I talk to you about salutation, the way you address, abhi maine aapko kaha, talking about Mr. or Mrs., whosoever you have put the name in the address. When you are addressing the person, keep in mind कि आपने इसको क्लोज कैसे करना है. जो कुछ आप शुरू में लिखेंगे, आपका क्लोज विल बी लिंक्ड. Opening greeting is normally typed second line below the inside. जहां आपने एड्रेस को खत्म किया, उसे second line में you should start putting the salutation. That is which would be about 2 lines above the main body, and they're always aligned with the left margin. Salutation is conventionally paired with the appropriate complimentary close. That is when you sign off your letter. And mind it, okay, you have to keep in mind to end the letter in a similar tone and formality the way you have started it. Agar if you are communicating with a person who's very friendly, so likewise, close has to be very friendly. आइए स्क्रीन पे देखते हैं. मैंने आपको डिफरेंट कंटेक्स्ट में कैसे आपने ग्रीट करना. इफ यू आर एड्रेसिंग समबडी एज डियर सर, डियर मैडम, और डियर सर, you are not using any name. Please be careful. Don't close it by yours sincerely. Even today, I receive letters, applications addressed to dear sir and then closing yours sincerely. Don't please make this mistake. Your professionalism would be reflected right away, because never use a complimentary close when you are greeting respectfully, because here the relationship is very formal. You are communicating with a senior person, a person with a higher position. You don't say yours sincerely, you say yours faithfully. You can address a letter by saying dear Doctor or Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, MS, whatever. And then the first name, dear Mr. Qureshi, dear Miss Alia, right? Here, when I say first letter, unfortunately, हमारे नामों के भी सिलसिले कुछ इस किस्म के हैं. They are not very clearly indicating कि first letter क्या है और family name क्या है. But when you are, and that's often a confusion which the foreigners can't resolve, is like if you say Mr. Ahmad Qureshi. Now here, Ahmad is the first name and Qureshi is the family name. So, if you are addressing this person and you want to address by the family name, then you say, dear Mr. Qureshi. You will never say, dear Qureshi. It's the family name. Or otherwise, if it's a first name, then you can say, dear Ahmad. So keep in mind. But you have to be familiar with the first name or the family name. You can as well greet by dear colleague or dear customer. When you are using such greetings, then you can write. You can end your note by yours sincerely. This is a very friendly tone, or this is for establishing relationship with people, which you have already established earlier. Another way of greeting is, as I said, is with the first name. Dear Jafar, Jamila, my dear Jafar, my dear Jamila, etc., etc. This is a very personal form of writing. Here you can write, end it by only using yours, comma, and then you sign it. Here, since the relationship is slightly more personal, you can use endings like kind regards, best wishes, affectionately. So, such is how you must close your correspondence. I hope आप इन चीजों पे बहुत फोकस करें. These things might appear small, but they're very important. ये status, position, respect, relationship, इन चीजों से reflect होती. I hope that you will attach a lot of attention to these. Having done that, now comes the main part, the main body. And this main body, as you must have seen in the draft which I showed you on the screen a couple of minutes ago, has to be logically divided into different paragraphs. और body के बारे में हम वैसे भी structure में पहले जान चुके हैं, we have discussed that. So you have to put the various questions or details in specified clear paragraphs. And paragraphs are conventionally separated by 2 line spaces for the sake of establishing clarity. You may indent the first line or you may not. It depends entirely on you, the way you format it. अब चूंकि मैंने कहा था कि opening is related with the closing, the way you close it, let me talk about the complementary close. Now, the closing begins at the same horizontal point as your date, and it is 1 line after the last body paragraph. अगर आपने अपना salutation जो है, अपना dear जो कुछ भी लिखा है, वो align किया है left margin पे, तो your closing must be aligned to the left margin. Sometimes people may do it the other way, so you have to align it, but mostly it's left aligned. And most popular closings are sincerely yours, very truly yours भी लिखा जाता है, yours very truly. When the letter is informal, additional clauses are used. Warm regard. We mentioned to you about letters coming from Europe, from UK and Asia. Use as well faithfully yours. So you can use that too. This is again formal business ending. Mind it, when you close your letter, leave 4 lines between the closing and the sender's name, space for the signing. जो भी sender है should have enough space for signing. People make a mistake here. कभी वो 8 spaces छोड़ देंगे, बहुत ज़्यादा space छोड़ देंगे, कभी बहुत कम छोड़ देंगे, overlapping होगी. Don't do that. So on the average 4-5 lines, but 4 lines is a good space for signing. Let me go into a little more detail into the signature area. You can use several identifications, like you can use the name of your company, you can sign with the name on your company, or you can typewrite your name and your business title. Like say, if my Muhammad Nasim, say head communication unit, that's what I will do, and then leave space between sincerely and this my title. So you can use that. Or sometimes you will see people do not mention their name, but company, virtual university, and anybody could sign on behalf of the virtual university, right? But over there they have written sincerely or faithfully yours, virtual university. Signatures could be anybody, right? So that's one way of writing. अभी तक जो मैंने आपको ये सारी चीजें बताई, ये कौन से पार्ट्स थे? Essential parts. I told you, okay, you cannot do without these. Let's talk about the non-essential parts of letter. याद रहे मैंने मेंशन किया था एड्रेसी नोटेशन. एड्रेसी नोटेशन आप अपने लेटर में कभी कभी इंक्लूड करते हैं बिकॉज यू वांट टू restrict your correspondence to certain people only, or maybe you just want some individual to read it because it's a confidential communication, it's personal exchange, or you want a note for the receiver that please forward it. This is what is known as the addressee notation. आपने receiver को particularly address करके ये बताया कि this is what I would request you do. So it is normally written 2 lines above the inside address. Inside address के शुरू होने से 2 spaces above you say confidential or personal. And mind it, it's written all caps. स्क्रीन पे देखिए मैंने उसके मुख्तलिफ तरीके बताए हैं. Confidential all caps, personal all caps, and please forward all caps. This is what is known as the way to write notation. Attention line. Now, when you want to direct a letter to a particular person or a title or department in any organization, you can use an attention line. It is useful in various contexts. And that is when the writer doesn't know that the individual, who the individual's name, what the individual's name is. उसको individual का नाम नहीं पता. उसको he or she wants to send it to the department and wants the message to be particularly received by the sales manager or let's say to the personnel manager. In that case, you use the attention line because that your correspondence will be received by the organization, but you want that letter to be received by a particular person. That's where you use the attention line. कभी कभी आप you want to send your letter to a person जिसका आपको complete नाम नहीं पता. Supposing I want to send a letter to somebody with the name of, surname मुझे याद है, Mr. Bhatt है उनका नाम, लेकिन I don't know his first name. So it will be discourteous way of addressing if I put his name, Mr. Bhatt, and then designation. No. What I'll do is, I'll send it to the destination, that is, the destination is the department, and attention, Mr. Bhatt. That is how I have saved myself from not having complete information, but in a way going to the right person. Or in another situation, when you want to have your letter or correspondence be received by the person or otherwise in the department immediately, when you are knowing that the person you are addressing to might be traveling. अगर मैं अपना लेटर खास किसी बंदे के नाम भेजना चाहता हूं, लेकिन in that very particular department and I'm doubtful कि अगर वो बंदा कहीं टूर पे निकला हो तो nobody will open the letter. So I might as well address it the personal manager and the address, and then I can write, attention, Mr. So-and-so. So anyway, my letter would be open when the person is not there. आइए example देखिए. Simply you'll say, for the attention of Mr. XYZ. This is the attention line. And normally I said it is written 2 lines above the inside address. Okay? Keep in mind these things. When you are slightly doubtful about the situation, this is a very good way of avoiding any delay. I talked to you about the subject line. Why do we need subject line? Subject line is, it gives a few words indication of the main subject. देखिए, मेरे पास अगर बहुत सारी कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस आ रही है तो मेरे पास इतना वक्त नहीं, लेकिन अगर if some sender has highlighted what the content is all about, he or she in a way has facilitated me to have an idea what is this all about. The subject line indicates that इसको मैं पढ़ूं या ना पढ़ूं. Though subject line is not an essential part of a letter, but it is commonly used in business letters where higher management is your recipient, as they usually don't have time to read complete letters. So it is essential when you are writing to higher authorities. आइए देखिए कि कितने मुख्तलिफ तरीके हैं इसको. How can you highlight the content? How can you facilitate the reader to know? स्क्रीन पे देखिए, मैंने एग्जाम्पल्स दिए हैं आपको. सब्जेक्ट, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नंबर सो एंड सो. सब्जेक्ट, ऑर्डर नंबर सो एंड सो. और दिस इज हाउ इट इंडिकेट्स वेयर दिस लेटर शुड एंड. इसको अगर हमने फाइल करना या फ्यूचर रेफरेंस के लिए, वेरी गुड, इट विल गो इनटू द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फाइल. वन ऑफ द ways to facilitate and locate the placement of the letter. Subject line is usually written 1 line below the salutation. Dear Mr. So-and-so, और उसके बाद आप subject line. You can put it this way. It can be left aligned, it can be put in the middle or right aligned. Sometimes this is written above the salutation. Salutation से पहले आप इसको लिख देते at the very top of the page after putting the date. So it is entirely how you want to form. Way to write a subject line. आपने given the heading subject, screen पे देखिए, subject summer 2005 sales meeting. One way of writing. Now, to distinguish it from other parts of the letter, sometimes people omit the word subject and they put it straight away, like, look at the example, it is summer 2005 sales meeting. So I have omitted subject. Some writers like underlining the subject line and take a different shape. It is your choice कि आप किसको underline करना चाहते हैं, subject को underline करना चाहते हैं, पूरे subject को करना चाहते हैं. It is the way you are trying to make your letter attractive. ठीक है कि नहीं? आप इंटरव्यू के लिए जाते हैं, द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ योर अटायर, योर आउटफिट, किस कलर की टाई लगाई हुई है, कैसा सूट पहना हुआ है, मैचिंग सॉक्स हैं कि नहीं. एक्जैक्टली द सेम वे व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग, इट इज हाउ यू एम्बेलिश योर रिटन टेक्स्ट. दीज आर द वेरियस वेज ऑफ हाईलाइटिंग एंड मेकिंग इट अट्रैक्टिव फॉर द रीडर टू लुक एट. टॉकिंग अबाउट द रेफरेंस एंड इश्यूज, मैं देखिए नॉन एसेंशियल पार्ट्स के सारी इस वक्त आपसे डिटेल्ड इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर कर रहा हूं. एज इट इज वेरी कॉमन दैट one person dictates or writes the letter and the other person types it, इसलिए reference initials are used to show who helped prepare the letter. Because if sometimes your senior management wants to know कि इसको लिखा किसने था, टाइप किसने किया था, तो वो पता होना चाहिए कि इस लेटर के क्या पास्ट हिस्ट्री क्या है. Reference initials always appear at the left margin and are typed 1 or 2 lines below the last line of the signature. Signature के बाद आप reference line डाल देते हैं. If the writer's name is in the signature block, अगर मैंने ही लेटर साइन किया है, then सिर्फ मेरे टाइपिस्ट के उसमें इनिशियल्स होंगे. अदरवाइज अगर मैंने नहीं साइन किया और मेरा नाम वहां अपीयर नहीं हो रहा, एंड आई एम साइनिंग, सो आई कैन पुट माई इनिशियल्स. माइंडेड सी कैन सी ये सारी चीजें कितनी चेंज हो गई हैं. पास्ट में इट वाज सो मेथोडिकल, everything was so with such a planned sort of preparation and putting everything in record that these could give you a fairly indication किसने लिखा, कब लिखा, कैसे लिखा, वगैरह वगैरह. record has to be, it was all through such information. reference initial अगर आपके सिर्फ डिपार्टमेंट या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम आ रहा है जिसके ऊपर, मैंने जैसे आपको कहा था कि वर्चुअल यूनिवर्सिटी कोई और साइन कर रहा है, तो उस सूरत के अंदर आपने रेफरेंस लाइन के अंदर राइटर के इनिशियल्स, टाइपिस्ट के इनिशियल्स देने बहुत जरूरी है. बिकॉज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बिहाफ पे कोई भी साइन कर रहा है तो कौन साइन कर रहा है उसका नाम तो अपेयर नहीं हो रहा है. स्क्रीन पे देखिए एग्जांपल्स हैं. आई एम दी वन हु हैज साइंड इट, आई एम द राइटर मोहम्मद नाजिम, सो माई इनिशियल्स MN/, मैंने MQS, initial of my typist. ठीक, so that's how you put it. और इसके भी different forms हैं, MN:MQS, all caps, small. This is up to you how you do it. Reference initial, sometimes the writer and the signer of a letter are different. उस सूरत में जबकि राइटर कोई और है, साइन कोई और करने वाला है, टाइपिस्ट कोई और है, स्क्रीन पे देखिए इन तीनों के नाम आने बहुत जरूरी. बिकॉज यू शुड नो एटलीस्ट हु डिड द राइटिंग. अनफॉर्चुनेटली कोई मिस्टेक आ गई तो गलती कहां हुई है. दैट इज एग्जांपल देखिए. मोहम्मद नाजिम इज द वन हु हैज साइंड इट. DQ is the writer. MQS is the typist. All these initials will give a very good reference. Enclosure. You want to put something along with your letter. You want to send a check. आपने रेज्यूमे भेजा है, आपने प्राइस लिस्ट भेजी है, आपने कोई डॉक्यूमेंट भेजा है, उसका उस लेटर में मेंशन करना जरूरी. Indicate this simply by writing enclosure or enclosures, 1, 2 or 3 lines below the complimentary clause and the signature. It's normally aligned with the left-hand margin. One may list the names of the documents enclosed for the sake of evidence. आइए आपको मैं इसकी एग्जाम्पल दिखाऊं. स्क्रीन पे देखिए. enclosed में आपने सिंगल enclose या कैपिटल enclose. ठीक है, इसमें मैंने CV enclose किया है, टेस्टेड कॉपीज enclose की हैं और फाइनल ट्रांसक्रिप्ट. This is how you include the enclosure. Then comes the copy notation. That is, you may be writing to head of the department, but at the same time, you are sending copies to various people. You may write it to 2 or 3, this has to be written 2 or 3 lines below the enclosure. CC जब भी आप भेजें, अब तो चूंकि फोटो कॉपीज आ गई, पहले CC was supposed to be the carbon copy. Now you can write as PC. The reason for mentioning this is that one who receives the information should know कि आपने ये information किन किन लोगों से शेयर की है. Who else knows what you are discussing or sharing with? Therefore, it is important that for being honest, clear giving complete information, writing especially to your seniors, you should mention CC you have. और CCs में अगर आपने जिन जिन लोगों को भेजी है उनके आप नाम डाल सकते हैं. Designations, it's important these things should be mentioned. Let's see how we mention those things in the correspondence again. देखिए मुख्तलिफ तरीके. I have sent a CC to Mohammed Aslam. किस तरह से आप CC कैप्स में लिखे C लिख सकते हैं, फोटोकॉपी लिख सकते हैं, या copy to words. Example, this is one way of writing it. Now, you don't want to disturb the hierarchy. So लिहाजा आप जब ये CC भेजें तो see to it कि hierarchy seniority maintain करें. आपने अक्सर आजकल ईमेल में ये एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा कि कभी कभी आप you want to share the email with somebody without telling the receiver कि ये आपने किसी और के साथ शेयर की, तो उस सूरत में आप उसकी ब्लाइंड कॉपी भेजते हैं. Exactly, correspondence में भी you can send a blind copy, you can share the information with somebody, that is, you mention BC and you put the name of the person who is receiving it. Keep in mind, you don't put this on the main letter. आप जो कॉपी है उसके ऊपर आप BC, because there is the one who's receiving your main message would not know कि आपने blind copy किसको भेजी है. So that as well you can do it while you are corresponding, sharing the information with somebody else. Let me talk to you about the mailing notation, which is another non-essential part of the letter. This notation you can either mention at the top or in the end, either above the address or after you have signed. That is, mailing notation can be put it either special delivery or look at the screen, the way you can have it all caps or registered mail, all caps, or in the small caps. This information you just want to share because आप expediency of the information आप reflect करना चाहते हो receiver के. मैंने ये क्यों इतनी जल्दी, ताकि one should realize and send you the message quickly. Act upon that very quickly. This is normally after the reference initials. Postscript is another non-essential part. आपने लेटर पूरा कंपोज कर लिया, आपने साइन कर दिया, एकदम you realize, oh, you missed something. In that, if any misinformation, if you want to put emphasis on the message, या कोई personal note, look at the screen. आप P.S. or PS, whatever. This is another way of putting the last few words in your message. Lihaza. Now, what we have to do in some cases, that there's a continuation of your message. You want to use another paper. देखिए उस सूरत के अंदर जब आपने दूसरा पेज डालना है, दूसरे पेज के ऊपर आपने इस तरह से मेंशन इंफॉर्मेशन देनी है. एग्जांपल लुक है मिस्टर XYZ, पेज सेकंड पे आपने डेट डालनी है और पेज नंबर डालना है. इट कुड बी एट द टॉप इन 3 lines or one single line, Mr. XYZ, May 10, 2005, and page 2. Whereas this information may apparently seem to you superfluous, may seem to you that not very essential. You might be focusing on other aspects on your message, on something, the information which you want to persuade, you want to share, you want to pass to your receiver. And you may think ये सारी चीजें जो मैंने आपसे डिस्कस की हैं are superfluous if you think they are not. मैंने अपने लेक्चर के शुरू में कहा they are very fundamental, they are very basic, but they give an overall impression. Little, as I say, the niceties, ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं, but they leave an impact. They indicate the professional attitude, ये आपकी approach towards handling certain situation, certain information, caring about the person, because you want to share everything you want to with your receiver, with your audience. That's why it is essential कि आप non-essential or essential parts को जहां जैसे the situation demands, you use it. I hope today's lecture to most of my viewers must have been informative, and you will profit by the information I shared with you. Inshallah, coming lectures, I will be now going to the main parts, the different formats of the different messages. But when you write, you should keep these things. इनको याद रखिएगा. They are important. They reflect what you are. How caring, how courteous, how intelligent, how informative you are. Certainly, I know that you will like to achieve this standard. Inshallah, I'll be appearing again with a new subject, with a new topic. Khuda Hafiz.